What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Boston's Banter, where the sports are wicked and the banter is Pissah. I'm your host, Frank the Bank. With me, as always, is Keith LaCava. What's going on, Bronus?
Not much bro for Tatupu.
Oh, my Lord.
You know who that was.
Oh, of course I do. Episode 44, we have a special guest in the house, a returning guest, so that'll be fun.
Sir.
So, why don't we just jump right into the Wicked Pissah news? We got some stuff to cover there.
Yes, sir, Frankie. Let's get it popping. Wicked Pissah news. Bruins update again. Season's about to be over. Last game tonight, but let's break down what they did this past week. But first, the Bruins are currently 33, 39-9 on the season.
Yikes.
And they basically officially finished last in the Atlantic. So
They have the least amount of points in the Atlantic and fourth least in the entire NHL. So
gross.
It is gross.
All right, let's break it down, Frankie. So they lost 7-2 versus the Devils in New Jersey last Tuesday, followed by a 5-2 home loss versus the Blackhawks this past Thursday. And then lastly, a 4-1 road win, surprisingly, versus the Penguins this past Sunday.
It's been a tough season, man.
It's been a really tough season. Obviously, the Bees aren't making the playoffs. And this is actually the first time the Rangers, Penguins, along with the Bruins, failed to qualify for the postseason all in the same year.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been a crazy year. I mean, some other NHL stuff, too. Winnipeg Jets, first time ever. President's Trophy, the best record in the NHL. First time that's ever happened for them. So, I mean, congrats to them.
Definitely congrats to them.
And one other thing I saw that I thought was really interesting was in the Canucks game. They're the first team in history to do this. So they were down 5-2 with exactly a minute left and came back and won. There was a minute left in the third.
How did I miss that?
They scored 3 unanswered goals with 1 minute left, sent it to overtime, and won in overtime. The first team in NHL history with a minute or less left in the game. And they won. They were down by 3, 5-2. Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
So I wanted to bring that up.
I didn't know
that happened like 4 or 5 days ago, but since our last episode, that's happened.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really cool. So
wow.
I wanted to bring that up.
That is cool.
Yeah. So why don't we jump right over to the Celtics? A better Boston team right now.
Yes, sir. Celtics update, Frankie. So they finished the season officially 61-21. Unfortunately, we didn't have the first seed. We're second behind the Cavs.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting into them later. But let's break down what they did this past week to end the regular season. So they beat the Knicks 119-117 in overtime last Tuesday at Madison Square Garden. Very good game. Followed by a 96-76 road loss versus the Magic this past Wednesday. That was unfortunate to see.
But they were sitting people, though. We had a bunch of starters resting.
I was going to say, but it's a potential playoff matchup, too. So you know what I mean?
I don't like it.
Rough seeing that. Then a 130-94 home win versus the Hornets last Friday. And then lastly, they won 93-86 at home, again, versus the Hornets. Peyton Pritchard had 34 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, man. That dude's looking like the 6th man of the year. We'll be getting into that later.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the Hornets, I mean, playing them a couple times towards the end is always fun. I remember seeing the spread, and I thought it might be like the Magic game where we sit some people and that spread, and when we won by 36 points.
Yeah.
Before the game started, it was like almost 24 and a half points. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot. Maybe I'll put some money on the Hornets, thinking like maybe they'll sit a few guys. Nope. 36. They covered by 12. It was crazy. 11 and a half. So they killed them. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Frankie, I got one more piece of Celtics news though. So like we were talking about last week with J.D. Davison being named the G League MVP. So the Celtics are giving him a 2-year NBA deal, a standard NBA deal. He'll be filling the final roster spot going into the playoffs. And like I said last week, bro, he averaged nearly 26 points a game, 7 assists and 5 rebounds this past season for the main Celtics.
He played great. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying,
awesome,
man. I'm glad they're giving him a chance, obviously. And it was in the G League, and a lot of people don't really get credit for what they do in there.
That's
but
true.
it is the developmental part of the league at the same time. And the Celtics players, the starters, have even said, give this guy a chance. He can play, bro.
I mean, they've done a great job drafting and free agency, everything in the last few years. I mean, you got to tip your cap.
I mean, who knows how many minutes or if any he's going to get in the playoffs, but I'm glad they're giving him a chance.
Unless we're getting blown out or we're blowing somebody out, he might not even play, but still, it still gets him there, and he deserves it.
And dude, every week we're bringing this guy up, Nikola Jokic.
I'm saying,
I just got to bring it up, man.
Do it.
So he became the 3rd player in NBA history to average a triple-double for the season. He averaged 29.8 points per game, 12.8 rebounds per game, and 10.3 assists, shooting 57.5%.
He's fun to watch. He's like, you got to tip your cap. It's just like, it's like backyard,
That's what I'm saying,
he's
bro.
just out there having a good time.
He just throws the ball up sometimes. It's butter.
It looks like he's having fun a lot of the time. It's great to see.
Oh, yeah, dude. He joins current Nuggets teammate Russell Westbrook and Hall of Famer Oscar Robertson as the only players to do so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So congrats to him, man. I feel like we're bringing that dude up every week.
It's every week, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And lastly, for basketball stuff, I mean, WNBA, I mean, kind of what we thought. Paige Beck is a UConn #1 overall pick. Congrats to her. I mean, a couple weeks ago, not even a couple weeks, she's probably like not even 10 days ago, won the national championship as a 2 seed.
Last week, bro.
Exactly. So, and now she's the #1 overall pick. So it's good to see, going to the Dallas Wings. So I saw her on ESPN, it was Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis going on Twitter and stuff saying, well, welcome to Dallas, and like looking forward to watching you play. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Welcome to the city, bro.
Yep. So why don't we jump right into some Red Sox stuff?
Frankie. So, the first week we did the Red Sox update. They were losing games. Then last week we brought up they were winning. Now we're back to losing more games.
We're losing again.
What's going on? So the Sox are currently 8-10 on the season, currently 4th in the AL East, still only 2 games behind the Yankees in the tightly contested AL East.
Yeah.
So let's break down what they did this past week. They lost 6-1 versus the Blue Jays last Tuesday in Boston, followed by a 2-1 loss versus the Blue Jays last Wednesday.
Yep.
Then they won 4-3 versus the Blue Jays last Thursday in Fenway.
Yikes.
Then an embarrassing 11-1 loss versus the White Sox in Chicago this past Friday. A team we made fun of a lot last year.
We talked about them nonstop.
And then it doesn't stop there. Then they had a 3-2 loss versus the White Sox Saturday.
Yeah.
And then finally a W in Chicago versus the White Sox, winning 3-1 this past Sunday. Garrett Crochet actually had a no-hitter going into the 8th inning against his former team.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was Chase Mydroff, or Mydroff, I think is how you say his name, was the one that got the hit, and he was actually acquired by the White Sox in the Crochet deal.
Wow.
As part of that deal. So
Dude,
it was kind of cool that it was kind of cool that he got the hit. So, but yeah, that was crazy. I mean, he pitched like a gem. I thought he pitched good against his old team, which is
looked
great.
Looked good, bro, for sure. We've been talking and hyping him up going into the season.
But still, to lose out of a 3-game series, to lose 2 of them to the White Sox, one of the worst teams in history last year, is crazy.
And then lastly, Frankie, yesterday, a 16-1 road loss versus the Rays on Monday, bro. Yikes. Embarrassing. Like, what was going on there?
I texted you, and I think I texted a few others, and I put it on Facebook. It was 14-1 in the 3rd inning.
The 3rd inning,
It's like, what are you guys doing?
That's gross.
Crazy.
So gross, dude. But again, let's hope next week they can start stepping up, winning some more games, maybe surpass the Yankees.
Yeah, they played tonight against the Rays. I mean, since they scored the 18 runs against the Cardinals April 6th.
First game at Fenway?
Right. So, since April 6th. So 9 days ago, we beat them 18-1 or 18-7, whatever the heck the score was. We scored 18 runs in that one game.
Yep.
We've played 8 games since then. They've scored a combined 15 runs in 8 games. They scored 18 in that one. And they've only game, that means they're not even averaging 2 runs a game in the last 8 games.
That's gross.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
let's hope they step it up.
They got to start swinging the bats again.
Absolutely. All right, Frankie, let's get into the NFL news, bro. And unfortunately, we're going to start with some very sad news here. So, former LSU wide receiver and NFL draft prospect this year, Kyren Lacy, was found dead this past Saturday night in Houston. He was 24 years old. Now, this happens a few months after his negligent homicide arrest, where he was involved in a fatal hit and run of a 78-year-old man back in December. He turned himself in, and he was out on bail. Now, this was all going into, obviously, he was preparing for the draft, and he was a projected first-round pick, a late first-round pick and everything, playing at LSU, all the great wide receivers that came out of there. And unfortunately, man, as he was dealing with this, just 18 days ago, he was doing his pro workout. And then I guess this past weekend, he had a domestic incident where he fired off a gun towards somebody, was on the run from the police, and he ended up killing himself.
Yeah, it's so sad.
That
whole story is just awful, and I feel for everybody involved in that. That's so tough.
And you saw the outpouring, from his former teammates at LSU, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, man. They're very beat up over this because they looked at him like a little brother, man.
Yeah, it's so sad that
sad. So rest in peace, Kyren Lacy, and prayers to his family.
Absolutely.
And Frankie, we got 2 more retirements this week, so let's get into it. So 8-time Pro Bowl cornerback Patrick Peterson to retire after 13 seasons in the NFL. Spent his first 10 seasons with the Cardinals after being the 5th overall pick in the 2011 draft out of LSU. He finished his career with 36 INTs, 122 pass deflections, 12 fumble recoveries, and good on the return game too.
Yeah, he
1,891 return yards to go along, 6 return touchdowns, bro.
Yeah. I always liked watching him. He was an animal, and
absolutely,
he had a great career. So he was up there for me.
Dude, they would use him on offense, too. I remember there was a game, Patriots versus Cardinals, and I went to the game, and I remember I seen him on offense. They had him throw a pass.
Unbelievable player. Great career.
Peterson was easily one of the best defensive players of his generation, and in my opinion, Frankie, he's going to be a strong candidate for the Hall of Fame when he's eligible in 4 years.
He should definitely get in the Hall of Fame, for sure.
Absolutely, bro. And then I got one more retirement here, another notable one, who was actually a free agent the Patriots were looking at.
I wish we got him.
Yeah, bro.
That would be sick.
Veteran left tackle Tyron Smith is retiring after 14 seasons in the NFL, 13 with the Cowboys, and he spent last year with the Jets. 2-time first-team All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler, and he was the 9th overall pick in the 2011 draft. Dude was a monster monster. We were talking about
He
Calais
should
Campbell
be a
looking
Hall
big.
of Famer too. His guy is
Dude,
huge. He was
absolute
nasty though.
anchor on the offensive line. You know, especially when the Cowboys lost him. We saw Dak get banged up last year.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
What they were missing with him. So congrats to a hell of a career from him.
Another good career for sure.
And then Frankie, we're gonna get into some injuries, and the season hasn't even started yet, bro. We've seen it with
We're
Deshaun
like 6
Watson.
months from
That's
now.
what I'm saying,
5
bro.
months anyway.
So Saints quarterback Derek Carr is dealing with a shoulder injury that could put his status for the 2025 season in jeopardy, and it seems like he might need some serious surgery here, bro.
If he's already talking about the season's 5 months away. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
So in 10 games last year for the Saints, Carr had 2,145 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 INTs, and also 1 rushing touchdown. Was looking pretty good in the beginning of the season, but like I said, all the Saints got banged up. Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, Kamara, and Carr. Who knows how they're going to look next year? They need a quarterback.
I'm saying they're in the 9th pick overall. So I mean, there's been some talk. I mean, I was talking with a guy. Obviously, the Patriots at 4, so it's like, you know, maybe they trade back to 9. If your guy's not there, you trade back to 9. You get an extra pick or 2, and you know they move up, get their quarterback. We still need an offensive lineman. I hopefully they take Carter. That's who I want them to take. But
or Hunter. I want Carter. Yeah.
It's those are the 2 guys. If you can get either one, I would obviously go Hunter first, Carter second. But you can wait on Campbell. You know, another top 3. As long as you get a top 3 guard, maybe you trade back with the Saints. Now.
But I want to bring it up. You make a good point. They need a quarterback because other than him on their roster, they got Spencer Rattler, Jake Hayner, and Ben DiNucci.
Yeah, no, none of those guys.
Yeah, bro, they ain't gonna do it.
They ain't doing it.
So we'll see what's happening, bro. But let's get into the free agency / trades this past week, Frankie. And I'm gonna start calling you Frank Stradamus.
Thank you. I'm gonna hold on.
Yeah, bro, you called another one. It was actually, dude, I didn't see him going back there, but let's break it down real quick. So the Browns signed quarterback Joe Flacco to a 1-year, $4 million deal, and that could actually hit $13 million in incentives.
Wow.
Flacco returns to Cleveland, where he won the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year award in 2023, led them into the playoffs, obviously one and done versus the Texans. But he spoke with the Steelers and Vikings, but he decided to spend his 18th season in Cleveland. They need a quarterback, too.
That's one of my predictions, so I mean, I thought
you know what I like, though, is you made that prediction before Deshaun Watson got hurt.
That's a fact. That's before he got hurt.
Frank Stradamus.
Damn right. That's all I do.
And then, Frankie, we did have one notable extension I want to bring up here. So the Bears signed cornerback Kyler Gordon to a 3-year, $40 million extension. You know, it doesn't sound like a huge deal, but that actually makes him the highest paid slot corner in the NFL at along with $31.25 million guaranteed.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
so,
good.
I mean, he played good for them, and obviously they got Jalen Johnson on the outside, so they're trying to lock down their secondary.
Bears did a lot this offseason. I feel like they're poised to do something.
Shored up the offensive line. They brought in some more guys on defense. I mean,
hired a new head coach. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. They just got to bring in Nick Chubb so I can get some of those predictions right, bro.
There you go.
Good stuff, Frankie.
Thanks, brother. So that's all we got for the Wicked Pissah news. Let's jump into the Foxboro Focus.
Here we are, Frankie. Foxboro Focus. We got some good news here. For the Patriots, wasn't any signings or anything like that, but we got 3 finalists for the Patriots Hall of Fame this year. Let's break it down.
Let's hear it.
We're going to start with kicker Adam Vinatieri, 4-time Super Bowl champ, 3 with the Pats, of course. Part of the Patriots all-90s and 2000s teams. He was also part of the Patriots' 50th anniversary team and their all-dynasty team. He holds numerous kicker records, including most career points scored with 2,673. And you can't mention any start to the Patriots' success without bringing up this guy.
Yeah, I love
Especially that first Super Bowl run, the Raiders kick.
I have a big picture autograph with a bench seat from the old Foxboro Stadium,
sick.
right?
That's sick.
And it's signed by Vinatieri, and he inscribed it, and it says "Last Points Foxboro." That's what he wrote on it.
Yeah,
because those are the last points ever scored
Overtime.
at Foxboro.
That's right.
Or in that Raiders game that you're talking about, the snow game. I'm saying, I'm doing it right now.
You know what I mean, bro?
So yeah, unreal. Great
so
career.
many clutch kicks, man. But dude, you like I said, you can't talk about the Patriots' success without bringing him up.
Yep.
And then we're going to bring up wide receiver Julian Edelman.
Love it.
3-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl 53 MVP. Spent his entire 12-year career with the Patriots after being a 7th-round quarterback draft pick out of Kent State. Who would have thought, bro? You know what I mean? Part of the Patriots all-2010s team and part of the Patriots all-dynasty team. 620 receptions, 6,822 receiving yards, 36 touchdowns, and 2,612 return yards, and an additional 4 return touchdowns.
Insane.
Yes, sir. He even threw some touchdowns out there.
He did. I was at the playoff game when
The
he threw that
Ravens?
nice Ravens
Yes,
stuff. Oh my
sir.
gosh, he was going
Yes,
crazy.
sir.
He was a very smart player, but
Yes, he was.
he worked his off. You know what I mean? Simple as he got there by doing what you got to do.
And when he got there, dude, Wes Welker was still there, so he wasn't a shoo-in to be our slot guy. He had to work his way up, bro.
Absolutely.
And then lastly, bro, this guy was a beast. Guard Logan Mankins.
Yeah.
7-time Pro Bowler, mainly with the Patriots. He spent the 2 final seasons of his career with the Bucks. First-round pick to the Pats in 05 out of Fresno State. Never won a Super Bowl with us, unfortunately, which is surprising to me. I mean, he played in a few with us, but he never won. We traded him the offseason in 2014. Of course, we beat the Seahawks that year. We traded him to the Bucks that offseason. And he was part of the NFL's 2010s All-Decade team, bro. Guy was
six All-Pros.
Yes, sir.
Actually, Belichick came out and said that Mankins was the best guard he had ever coached. So, I mean, that's high praise from the best coach in history, or one of the best coaches.
All the linemen he's coached?
Yeah, so he said he's the best guard he ever coached.
Wow.
So that's high praise for him.
Absolutely. So. But, Frankie, you know, that's going to be one. These are just the finalists. There's only going to be one going in. So, who do you think could it be?
I mean, obviously, they're all surefire, obviously. At some point, they should all be in there.
Oh, for sure.
You know, I like Vinatieri, but I know Logan last year was a finalist too and didn't get picked. So I'm actually going to go with a little bit more of a long shot. I'm going to take Mankins this year. I think Vinatieri might be next year.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good point.
That's my prediction.
And, you know, neither one of us are mentioning Edelman, so I'm actually going to go with Vinatieri, though.
I like it. Edelman's going to get in too at some point, but eventually. He's like the youngest in terms of like when he retired. So he's been retired the least amount of years. So I think they're going to give it to one of the guys.
Vinatieri or Mankins.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's Vinatieri or Mankins this year. And again, Mankins was a final 3 last year too. So
he almost got it. And then with Vinatieri, like I was talking about, man, you look at anything with the Patriots Super Bowls, it shows that kick, bro.
He's I mean,
back-to-back Super Bowls, bro, that they played and not back-to-back wins.
He's ended the games a couple times for us. So it's like, you know.
We'll see what happens, Frankie.
Yep. Let's jump into the lava round. We got a special guest returning, our basketball guru.
Yay.
Craig Level Up Elwood is back in the house.
Here he is.
Let's welcome Craig. Come on in, man.
Thanks, Craig, for coming back, bro. You know, we got the end of the NBA season like we were talking about, Frankie, so let's get into it with this live round. We're going to do some NBA award predictions with our boy Craig, and at the end, we're going to do the play-in predictions as well.
I like it. Let's do it.
So let's start off, and we're going to start with Coach of the Year. And Craig, since you're the guest, we're going to ask you first. Who do you think's going to be Coach of the Year?
I don't know. I like Michael Malone.
Michael Malone! That's I like it! Yeah, right. That guy ain't winning nothing this year.
I love that.
And, he's all done, so I'm going with Kenny Atkinson from the Cavs. I think it's an easy pick.
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually taking Kenny Atkinson as well. You know, first year as the Cavs head coach, led them to a #1 seed in the East in a position they practically had all season, finishing with a 64-18 record.
Yeah, I mean, it's down to him or Mark Daigneault, the Thunder head coach. I'm going Daigneault. They got the best record overall in the league.
That's right.
They beat them by 4 games, the Cavs. So overall, #1. I'm gonna go with them this year. So
yeah, those are both good picks right there for sure.
Yep.
All right, let's move over to the Rookie of the Year prediction. And Craig, who you got for that one?
I think Stephon Castle's probably
absolutely,
the easy shoe in there. Yeah, his numbers are what they are, and you know he's playing with the Spurs with Webby. You know, like.
Yeah,
he's just getting a lot of attention there. So
right.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, he's far and away the overall bet to make these minus like 1,500, 1,600.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I mean, he should definitely lock that up. It's not even a close race there. So.
Well, he led all rookies in points, field goals attempted and made, free throws attempted and made, and total steals.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shoo-in to me.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
One, so.
While ranking second in total minutes and 4th in APG.
Yeah, and I mean, it just seems like a no-brainer.
Yes, sir. I like it. Alrighty, let's move over to the 6th man of the year, and I think we're all gonna have the same one on this one, boys.
I mean, this one seems like a shoe-in too.
But we're gonna go with Peyton Pritchard, I'm pretty sure, right, guys?
Pritch, please.
Yes, Pritch, please. I like it. He's become one of the NBA's best bench players. Pritchard averaged 14 points per game on 47% shooting last year, and he also broke the NBA record for most threes off the bench, as we talked about.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Oh, dude, the guy can light it up from anywhere on the court. We've seen it, man. Go beyond half court, just throw it up there at the buzzer. Usually makes it, man.
Yep.
Alrighty, let's get into the Defensive Player of the Year. And Craig, who you got for that one, brother?
So that's an interesting one for me. I like Daniels from the Hawks. So let me backtrack that. Unfortunately, I think Draymond Green's probably going to win it.
That's who I got.
But I like Daniels, and then you can make the argument for Mobley.
Mobley
with the
too.
Cavs.
Yep.
Right.
But I also think Daniels has an opportunity to win other awards. So I think he might, they might omit him there. And unfortunately, because I cannot stand the guy.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig.
A lot of people don't like him.
I can't stand Draymond, bro.
Makes me sick.
Oh, dude. But Frankie, who you got?
I got Draymond. I mean, once Wemby went down, I mean, I thought it was going to be Wemby. You know, he was playing.
Dude.
They always like blocks. I mean, look at Camby back in the day and stuff.
Right.
You're leading the league in blocks by like almost double everybody else. You usually get it. But now that Wemby's been out for as long as he's been out, dude, I mean, I think it's Draymond.
Unfortunately. But you know who I'm going to go with? I'm going to go with Cavs big man Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
Impressive season on the defensive end, currently averaging 7 defensive rebounds a game and 1.6 blocks per game, too. Talking about blocks over here and everything, bro. So either one of those guys. And then the big award here. MVP. Craig, break it down for us.
So I think it's SGA. It's very hard to argue that.
Right.
I just think
agree.
It is what it is with him.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's on the best team in basketball.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue that, I think.
No, not at all. You can't argue that, bro. Averaged
Yeah.
32.7 points per game last year. Finished as the league's leading scorer, over 50% field goal percentage. And listen to this. He led the NBA in 50, 40, 30, and 20-point games.
Oh yeah, he's who I have. I mean, 32.7 this year.
That's crazy.
A game, which is crazy. Best team, like Craig said, and it's kind of a slam dunk.
Bro,
you see what I did there?
Yeah, I like
Slam
that, bro.
dunk.
And I was going to say this, like he said, the best record in the whole NBA, not just the Western Conference. Bro, they were 15 games ahead of the number 2 Rockets.
It's a fact.
And that just shows how good, obviously it's not just all him, but yeah, definitely MVP factor this year.
Yep.
He set the whole tone for the team everywhere on the court, on the offensive and defensive side. The guy's a monster, and I'm sure the Clippers wish they never traded him for
I
Paul
agree.
George.
I agree.
Morons. Alrighty, let's get into the play-in predictions, bro. One of these games, actually, the Celtics are going to be looking at it, so let's get into the predictions and see
whoever
what we
wins
think.
this first game.
Alrighty, so Hawks at Magic. What you guys thinking?
I like the Magic in that game.
Me too.
Me too.
I don't think the Hawks are as good as.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's just, for me.
And Paolo Banchero's just been playing lights out lately,
Yeah, I like
bro.
Wagner there too. I mean,
Mo Wagner,
and
bro.
honestly, it's like the Magic give us fits too. I know Atlanta's come back on us a few times too, which is crazy. But
Right.
both these teams kind of give us fits. I feel like I don't, but I feel like I'd rather play Atlanta than the Magic.
Yeah, it's going to
You
be
know
a
what
tough
I mean?
one. We'll see what happens here, but I think the Magic are going to pull this one out and we'll be looking at playing them in the
I
first
agree.
round.
Yeah, we're gonna play the winner of that game. So
Yes, sir.
Sunday night is our first game. So
So for the second game here, I got Grizzlies at Warriors. And Craig, who you got for that one, bro?
I like the Warriors in that game. I think, honestly, I really think the Warriors could make a run in this whole thing.
I hope not.
I hear you, but I really believe they could.
They've been surging at the right time this year, too.
Yeah, they certainly have. And on top of that, everybody likes the Thunder in the West, but I don't know. Not only do I think they'll win the play-in game, I think they're going to make a run.
I
the
mean,
Warriors have been playing great.
I was going to say, Steph Curry, it's Steph Curry, bro. He's always lights out and everything. And Buddy Hield's been a good compliment to him on that team
Yeah,
as
and
well.
since they traded for Butler, once Jimmy's got there, it has. As much as we don't like Butler, he's actually done things.
I know.
To help that team a lot. Their record's been very good since he's played.
Like you talked about it, though, when he got traded from the Heat to the Warriors, man, all the antics he did, and then the Warriors rewarded him with that contract, man. I'm just not a fan of Jimmy Butler anymore, bro.
I'm not a fan either, but you got to tip your cap since they've been doing.
But I'm not taking the Warriors. I'm taking the Grizzlies,
Wow,
bro.
okay, all right.
Yeah, I think Ja's
Ja's
going to
a
go
little
out
crazy,
there, man.
yeah.
He's kind of been going crazy recently, dude.
Oh, he's nasty. Ja's nasty. If
Oh,
he can
yeah,
keep
bro.
talk about antics, though. He's
Yeah,
got
I
the
guess.
antics.
Yeah, the finger guns, bro.
I don't think you guys talk about Jimmy Butler, though. There's no way you can deny playoff Jimmy.
No,
That's
right.
a fact.
And
Thank
he needs to have playoff Jimmy come back
Thank
to
you.
Right, right.
justify his contract.
No, absolutely.
If you
That's the
look at
thing.
their record since
That's
they
the
got
thing.
Butler-
Justify that contract by the way he plays in the postseason, because I didn't like how he treated Miami at the end of that whole tenure
Yeah,
with them.
that was
Whatever
crazy.
happened, I don't know the interior stuff.
I've watched some of the games and I thought he showed a lot of heart in some of these games, a lot of hustle. And again, their record is really good since he's been there.
Yeah,
So
it's helped him out.
you tip your cap to him as a player.
I'm
but
not gonna deny
his
that.
antics. I agree, are terrible.
I just think he's a.
Yeah, well, that's a fact.
You can get that vote.
Everyone's getting that vote.
All right, boys, let's get into this next one. We got the Heat at the Bulls. And
Yep.
Craig, what you think about that one?
Well, I'm gonna go with the Bulls. The Bulls have been surging.
Yeah.
I think they're
Yes, sir.
7-3 in their last 10 or something like
Yeah.
that.
I believe they are, yeah.
Their rookie Modest is been on
Yeah,
fire,
yeah, boy.
throwing everything down.
been looking good, man.
I think that young team can really,
Especially,
show.
Yeah.
especially since that Lakers game, bro, with the way they came back. Josh
saying.
Giddey hit that half-court shot, bro. That amped them up.
Yeah, that was a crazy comeback. We talked about that last week. That was
Yeah.
nuts against the Lakers.
And
so.
who you taking, Fred? You taking the Bulls?
I'm going to take the Heat, actually, in this game. I just like the matchup better for them. I know Bulls have
right.
been playing good, but I just, I know Butler's not there. But, I
they
like
still
the
got
Heat.
Bam.
I like their
Bam,
shooters.
Bam.
And, Harrow, you know what I mean? That's my guy.
Bam's tough. Bam plays tough in the playoffs.
He does, man. He's a
Yeah.
beast, bro.
Tyler Harrow can shoot, lights out,
Yep.
Robinson.
Nightmare.
Absolutely.
So I
and
do
then,
like their matchups a lot.
And then lastly, we got the Mavericks, no more Luka or anything like that. I'm surprised they're even in this position, but we got the Mavericks at the Kings. And what you guys think? Craig, what you think, brother?
I think the Mavericks. I'm not sold on the Kings at all. I like the Mavericks to pull that.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I really am. Honestly, I know they lost Luka and
Anthony Davis is a little banged up.
Davis is
Banged up,
banged up.
of
I know,
course.
but I just call it an odd prediction, but Yeah, I don't think Davis is playing. So.
No, I mean, I'm not sure if he's going to be back. I mean, I don't really hate that prediction. It's just with the way the Kings, especially, you know, how they've been kind of surging. That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah. Sabonis been looking like a monster.
Yeah, I got the Kings in this one too. So, I mean, we'll see.
I mean, the thing with Dallas, though, is, man, it's a matter of, obviously, they lost Kyrie Irving, too.
I know.
They lost Luka. Anthony Davis should be back, but he's a little banged up, and a lot of their big men are actually banged up, too, which...
They're banged up. I just don't like... Maybe it's just a personal thing. I don't like the Kings.
Yeah, and DeMar DeRozan, I think he was a little banged up for them, too.
Hey, that's going to be a good game either way. I think that's of all the games, I think that might be the closest one,
Absolutely,
honestly,
but I like all those prediction, boys, and, you know, it's the end of the NBA season, man. It just flew by, it seemed.
It's great, yeah.
I know. I love the playoffs.
It's awesome, yeah. Well, who do you have coming out of the West? Let's throw a spot question on you.
No, that's cool. No, that's good. I think so. It's hard to argue Oklahoma City, right?
Of course.
Like I mentioned, it's difficult. I mean, top team in the NBA
Absolutely.
overall.
Yeah, they're looking primed for success this year.
Right, with the odds-on MVP, but. You know, again, I also think, I'm telling you right now, I really think
the Warriors
can make a run.
I wouldn't be surprised, bro. They've done it.
Right, and once you get past Oklahoma City, it's wide open. Anybody in that Western Conference, you know, there's a lot of
Keith talked about a 14 game difference from first to second, right? You said so. It's you're absolutely right. And you know, and how they played the Celtics is how they play a lot of people. Their defense is great, but they let you shoot the three a lot. But the Warriors are lights out from 3-point.
Right.
You know, they got the number one Curry. You got Hield's wicked high percentage too. It's like, you know, they very well could do that. I could definitely see that. I mean, who do you got coming out of the West?
I'm taking the Lakers, actually.
Wow. Okay.
I really think they're going to get into the playoffs, man, and especially with Luka now and the way that team's been looking. Even Bronny, when he's been getting some minutes, been looking good, dude. Honestly, I think LeBron can potentially, along with the guys that they put around him, get them back to the finals.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's against the Celtics.
Listen, they can score against anybody. I mean, Luka's defense isn't, like we talked about that a few times, isn't as strong as... It's been a little better, though, since he's been traded. And it looks like he actually lost some weight, too, which is great.
Yeah, slimmed down a little bit.
So I could definitely see Lakers coming out, but I'm gonna go Thunder. They just have destroyed teams this year, so it's like I have to take the Thunder. The way they played this year, you just got to tip your cap to them.
Oh, absolutely, man.
And who you guys got from the East, though?
Oh, dude, I'm taking the Celtics, baby.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Celtics.
I think that's going to be interesting, though.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be interesting. You know, I mean, the Cavs healthy. They, you know.
Yeah, playoffs, they were banged up when we played them.
Oh, that's a fact.
And I think we won 4-1 in that series.
Yeah, it's going to be – the East is much better this year. I mean, you're always talking about the West. I know we won. The East won last year. But if you look at – you know, a lot of people said it was a cakewalk because, I mean, the East was fairly easy last year.
Right.
I mean, Knicks are a lot stronger now. The Cavs are unbelievable. So, I mean, like –
yeah, we had two
even
total,
Magic. Even the Magic – the Magic's tough too. You know what I mean?
And the thing with the Celtics last playoffs, they had only 2 losses in the Eastern Conference, and they had one against the Mavericks. But obviously, I don't think that can be the case this year. Obviously, I want the C's to sweep. But like you said, the Eastern Conference, man, it got tougher. So they're going to have to limit those turnovers and definitely maybe limit the threes if they're not falling.
Yeah.
Well, you saw who made a run at the end of it, right? See who's 8-2 in the last 10?
Oh, yeah.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Without Lillard, too, man. Yeah, that's right.
That. No Lillard. Obviously, you know, they've lost guys through trades and free agency previous that, but I'm telling you right now, you know,
Giannis is Giannis. As simple as that.
The NBA likes its stars.
Oh yeah,
right. Like that's the market for the business. So don't be surprised. I'm not saying it's fixed. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm just saying don't be surprised if you see a team with a superstar, you know, have an emergence in the playoffs.
Or like the Pistons.
Yeah,
you know,
another
I don't
see
team.
the Pistons getting all the way, but
no, I
at the
don't
end of the day,
either.
they're playing good ball.
You know, Cade Cunningham has been leading them in the right direction. It was a team that used to suck, and now they're looking good.
They actually got a big turnaround. Actually, I agree.
The Lions, man, they're looking good. The Pistons are looking good. What's next? The Red Wings, bro.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. What do you got for the championship? You guys all
Celtics,
we're all going Celtics.
End of season.
Bleed green.
They're too deep. They're way too deep. I think I mean, look, at anything can happen, right? But I think they're way too deep to be beat in 7-game series, or even shorter series. I mean, they're just. I don't see anybody beating them.
In a 7-game series, bro, especially if we're healthy. And like I was talking about, man, especially Jaylen Brown with him coming back too, man, and going into this playoffs. Limit the turnovers, you know, shoot some good 3-pointers, man. Like he was just saying too, we're deep, man, especially on the bench.
Top to bottom.
And all that stuff.
Top to bottom, there's no deeper team. Craig's absolutely right.
Yeah, even beyond that, even beyond Pritchard. Like, I mean, you had Al Horford coming off the bench.
Sam Howes is lights out. So, top 3 in percentage for threes all the time too. And you got Cornette. You know what I mean? Like you got, you're absolutely right. The whole thing.
I was sitting behind House's mom a week ago on Friday. I was at the game. And
nice.
So fortunately, we get great seats.
Yep.
And where a lot of the families sit. So we had Pritch's wife was in front of us to the left, and then Hauser's mom's in front of us. But
that's awesome.
But just to that point, I'm sitting here looking, and I'm like, we got Pritch off the bench, Hauser's off the bench, Horford's off the bench. This bench,
Horford too.
You got multiple people that could still
start on some teams for sure.
Right.
Honestly, they do a good job of getting guys the experience. Because we knew you're not going to catch the Cavs at that point, but even so, like, you're up so big on some teams, you get that playing time. It's just good for the next year or the year after and stuff like that.
Absolutely. But I'm taking the C's. Let's go, boys.
Let's go. Me too.
Good stuff,
awesome.
Craig.
Thank you, Craig. Appreciate you
coming
on. So that was a great lava round. It was a great episode. I appreciate Craig coming on. And,
hey, Frank, here we go again, man.
Bro.
It's getting dark in here, dude.
Always
getting all creepy, and I'm pretty sure your phone's gonna ring. There we go.
How'd you know this? What
Dude,
the
I'm
heck?
telling you,
Hold on
man.
a second.
This
Hold
place
on a
is
second.
haunted,
Hold
like
on
you
a
said.
second.
Answer that phone call, man.
Hello?
We're gonna kill every last one of you.
No. I didn't like what she had to say at all.
What did she say? What was that all about?
Nah, that was scary. I don't like that at all.
What's going on, Frankie?
I know what this is. The new movie Sinners is coming out this weekend.
Oh, yeah, it looks pretty
great.
good. Looks really
Make
good,
sure you
actually.
check it out.
Well, Zach, where'd you come from, dude?
You all right, bro? You don't look all right.
No, you don't. Screw this. Let's
From
get
me
out of here.
town to your town, stay wicked pissed.
From the TD garden to your garden. Thanks for listening. I'm out.